Loved that.
Very good.
It was awesome.
All right.
Okay.
So
Now, you probably need this, right?
I figured we could give a little bit of a demo, but ultimately I do have to do my job.
Yes.
I'll go up there. Oh.
All right.
Maybe one.
What are you wearing?
I was kind of finding mine are.
I thought these were.
Tim's got mine. Actually, we're probably still going to use the triple honk because we're going to use it.
Yep, so I know where it's at.
So.
Yeah, you gotta remember Dad.
I still like to hear after all this.
Alrighty, so I'm going to hear what you came up with this week, and then we're going to talk about it. Which one do you want to do first?
That same one again.
No, Enchanted or Loot Story, dude.
Those ones I think you're mostly good on, right? We need to work on the ones that need the most work.
Enchanted.
You want to do that one first? Okay.
That's when we get out the malice.
Okay. Do you want to use this so that you can quickly put them away? Are you doing like rolls and stuff, and then you're going to tuck them in here and go back to sticks?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. You can leave those in.
Okay. Alright, here we go. All right. So before I give my criticism, what do I always have you do first?
Guess how I did.
Yeah. So you tell me what did you do differently this time around that you really liked, and then what maybe didn't go the way you wanted it to. Start with that.
Kind of liked. I liked how kind of some parts
Okay.
were kind of like they fit the song, and then other parts I forgot to. This song's more about Ghost instead, so I forgot I was mostly relying on this.
Mhm.
I wasn't like.
Okay. Well, that lines up with one of the great things that happened, I think, is just especially at the very beginning when you were thinking about it more. I liked it way more when the embellishing was happening on the snare than last week when everything was do 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 ga do 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 ga do 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 do. It was too heavy. It was like turning into more of a rock song than it was like a pop song. But with the snare drum, I thought that was nice. I thought it was a much nicer groove this time around. So I'm definitely happy with that improvement. The other one is you're getting these you're getting these extra little hits on the hi-hat, and you're starting to sound more and more like me, which I think is really fun. Are you kidding? Ask Dad. Ask him right now. If that groove that you were playing in there, if I've not played exactly that groove in the studio. So
You listen to a lot of my stuff, which is a lot of Mr. Tim playing drums.
yeah. So that's just fun for me is to hear that that coming across that way. But yeah, it's so let me borrow for a sec. So for a song like this, I like the snare work that you're doing a lot more. Rather than I was hearing more of that kind of thing last week, and I thought, wow, you know, if you got people out in the audience kind of going here to Taylor Swift, then sure, but that's not really what we're looking for, right? So, that was a big improvement, I think. One of the things that I'd like to ask you is how do you feel about the swinging that you're doing? So you'll be playing it straight up, and then you start that's not swinging. You're still playing that straight. So I'm talking about this. Watch. So most of the song you're here. But then you were doing it over here too. I would hear that poke through, but it would poke through like very little. It was kind of, to me, it felt a little bit jarring. I'm not sure that I really liked the quick little feel changes. And is there something musically that's happening in there? Because when the recording's going, most of what I'm hearing is you. Are they swinging things in there? Is that where you got the idea from? Are they doing that? Okay.
They actually might be Dad who's shaking us up, but I get more things than Dad.
I'm assuming they're probably not. I mean, I'd be willing to go back through it and double check, but they're probably not. That's a pretty big feel change. Maybe if there was a section that went into that, there was one where everything totally came down, and it almost felt to me like you were gonna bust into just a jazz swing. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like if you orchestrated that with Rachel and she thought that would be kind of fun for you and Jude to like pull into a jazz swing for 2 bars, like just like, to kind of goof.
It's me and younger Jude, right? Or me and older Jude?
Are there 2 Judes?
Yeah.
Oh, I only know the one.
Oh, no, because...
Who's probably older Jude.
The younger Jude's older sister just dropped out.
Okay. I don't know nothing about all that drama, but you know, unless she wants to work out something like that. But what I'll tell you right now is, if you pull that off, even if it was really clean, which was my other criticism, was that the swinging wasn't really clean. It was kind of muddy. But even if you really were clean, I think Rachel would go, I don't know.
Alright.
So I might, because I'm less stressed than she is right now, having to orchestrate all this stuff at the same time, might like, yeah, let's have a little jazz breakdown in here just to kind of change it up and do something interesting, as long as there was another kid that could do it. But I think that's unlikely. Okay? So for now, I think go ahead and drop it. Just keep playing straight. I really like what you're doing with the ghost notes though. Okay? This is also a nice touch. So having these mallets, this is nice. One of the things that you can do with these, right, because you were kind of switching back and forth or whatever, one of the things that you can do, you can still kind of, you can use the stick part of these to get some pings. You also, there was one section where you kind of, and then you put the sticks back down and you picked these back up. You could just flip them around and do that. Saves you a lot of effort. To flip them around, use them like that, and then flip them back around.
Don't ever use them on.
Don't ruin your mallets.
Yeah, don't ruin them, but already.
Okay, that's not me. I haven't got them like that because
Okay.
they were already confused.
So, if we do too much more, you're gonna lose it right about here. Okay? This thing that I'm doing here, I'm not hitting that hard. I'm hitting this hard. That's not even enough to hurt you, right? I'm not. Bam! Right? If you do this hard, you will shave off the bottom half of your stick. Okay?
Alright.
Try it.
What is written on here?
Don't worry about it right now. Try it. So you have your mallets. You're going to then do this. You're going to let the stick come up. I'm holding it like this. So I still have pretty much the same fulcrum. I down here, I scoot it up, and then used my ring finger to pull it out. And so I have it pinched like this between these three fingers. That's how I do it. And then you hit the very edge of the cymbal, and you try to get as little ring as possible. This one's going to ring because of the edge here. But the more dead on you hit it, the less it'll ring. It'll just give you a bell sound.
Yeah, I've done this a little bit before, but I did like
Yep, you can do
this.
that too.
I
So
flipped
you flip it
kinda
around
like
here,
this.
and then you can hit the bell. Same over there. You can grab that one on the ride. Yeah. Yep. So those are all ways that you can use your mallets in a way that's effective, but isn't going to hurt your mallets. As soon as you start using them for rim shots, though, they're gone. So you definitely don't want to be doing that. Okay?
Yeah.
So those
Can
are
I
all
do,
ideas for that. That's kind of a weird thing. I can't honestly say that I've ever seen that before, because
Yeah,
you could
but-
get the same sound.
The answer is
Just-
not to do that.
you shouldn't be doing that. I agree.
This is just.
Did you just hear what he said, Bubba?
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Shouldn't do either one.
Yeah, don't bother with that either. If you need a snare sound, you can do what I told you before. You can flip it around. Okay? You can go here. But ultimately, once you get to a point where you're needing to do doubles or something, just switch to your sticks, you know? But when you're doing little things, you can use every part of the mallets in order to make it happen, okay? So, next, I want to talk about when you're doing the swells.
Just
So when we have, yes, I understand that, but I'm talking about during each phrase. So where should you be swelling? At the beginning of a phrase, in the middle of the phrase, at the end of the phrase? Should you be swelling when she's singing? Should you be swelling when she's not singing? All of that kind of stuff, right? Those are conscious decisions. Because it's not difficult, right, to just do this. I could hand these to anybody else in this room and they could do that, but where you put them is important, right? So you have to really use your ears and you have to listen for good spots. We don't want to just swell everywhere because we can. We want them to be in spots that have a lot of impact. So particularly what you're listening for is you're listening for crescendos. Do you remember what that means?
like if I'm soft.
Yeah. Crescendo, but it's all vocal, right? So you're listening for when the vocal line is getting bigger, when she's building up to a note that she's going to hit. Those are perfect spots for it. As well as instrumental sections, you can swell as you're basically making space for her to take a breath and relax a little bit before she comes back in. So all of those are good ideas too. You just don't want to go too crazy with it. Does that make sense? Would it be helpful for me to just play the beginning so I can show you kind of some ideas, some things that I'm talking about? Would that be helpful to you?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, then let's switch real quick. So I'm going to play the beginning. So I'm not gonna play the whole song, but I'm just gonna play the beginning up until about when you put the mallets away. And I want you to pay attention to the choices I'm making, how often I'm swelling, when I'm doing cymbal pings and all of that kind of stuff, right? I'm not just gonna be going crazy on it. It plays a lot softer.
I'm sure.
What?
Nothing. All right.
I got it.
Yep. Just click on it. Yep. Very little. See? Whoa.
I didn't hit anything. I didn't hit it.
Well, you didn't mean to. But it sure wasn't anybody who wasn't touching it. Okay. See, I'm waiting for it. See how nice that is? I filled the space there. I went up and back down. I didn't leave it up at the top. I'm still grabbing those. Chanting to meet you, right?
Love it.
So, did I do more or fewer swells than you did?
You were.
By a lot or a little? A lot, right?
Why
I was
are you
looking
speaking
rather...
in kid voice?
What?
Why are you speaking in little baby voice?
I'm
Don't do
not.
that. You were.
I'm
It's
not
on
gonna-
tape. We heard it. Anyway. Oh, shoot. I'm going to cover my gray. You got me. What was I saying?
He's
So...
talking about drums.
That was, yeah. I'm sure I was. So,
how to play.
swelling, right? So, you're looking more for a good spot that helps the song more than you're just keeping busy. Like, I don't have anything to do, so I'm gonna...
I would not try to swallow that. Just
Even so, right? I was exaggerating because I don't think you were doing that much, but do you see how that would get it annoying? That would get in the way of the music as opposed to enhancing the music and making it better. Right? And then you also caught that the figures enchanting to meet you, right? So you're looking for spots like that where there would be, I guess, quote unquote hits, and you're very lightly accenting those, and then doing a couple little swells. I probably only did 4, maybe 5 swells. You don't need that many for it to have a good impact. Okay. I didn't know where the tom thing was coming in, so I didn't grab that, but I very easily could have flipped here and then just something like that, right?
He added that
What was that?
to the song. It's not in the song.
Oh, well, that
There-
explains
no,
why I
there-
didn't hear it. But
There's a small like swell where it builds, so
you know what I probably did there instead? I bet you I swelled over that build. I
it's
just
the
swelled.
it's the intro to the first chorus
Okay.
or pre-chorus, I guess.
So, so for the most part, if you're hearing a build like that, you can build it up here instead of building it down here, because they're gonna have enough bass drum by the end of the song. What they don't have a lot of is this, which is a different flavor, right? And so we wanna make sure that we
It's a little bit
maximize
better.
each of our extra little
Tastier?
flavors. for the beginning of a sweet song like this. So,
This song is not candy.
well, it's a ballad, so it's
It's
meant
not
to
a
be.
sweet song.
It's meant to be sweeter than it is. Like,
It's not pop.
I wouldn't call it brutal, would you?
I would. It's brutal on the drummer. Like, you have nothing to do in the first part. You're like,
Well, wait till you learn how to play Stairway to Heaven. You
Yeah, I
got
was
nothing to
gonna
do
say,
for 4 minutes.
I don't think you know what brutal is. Like, I could give you a Rush song. That would be brutal.
I can just Stairway to Heaven. I'll just
Such
sleep
lie.
for 4 minutes, wake up, start throwing stairs.
I have it all transcribed. I've got 7 pages of Limelight that we could learn how to read if you were interested. But, okay, so, does all that make sense? Feel like you got a good understanding? Okay, cool.
Now on to the one that you have nothing really prepared for.
Okay, well then that sounds like we need to spend time on that one.
I have something prepared for it. I know kind of how to play part of it. Okay, I'm good. So,
Yeah, you want to go up on stage like that?
yeah,
I can kind of do it, I guess.
I can pull it off.
Well, do you want to knock it out of the park, or do you want to? Like, would you rather hit a ball that straight to the pitcher who then gets you out at first, or would you rather hit a home run?
I'd rather hit a respectful single. And
Rather than a home run?
if it's an RBI single with people on base or a home run with no one on base, I'm taking the RBI single.
Okay.
You
maybe
same
I'm
amount of
allowed-
They're
RBIs.
both RBIs.
Same amount of RBIs.
They're both RBIs.
Well, if 2 runners score on a single and you're the only one on
All
the
right,
home
never
Okay.
mind. Jeez. Most kids are like, yeah, I want to hit a home run.
Instead,
He's trying to
I
be
have take it
difficult.
deeper into
I
the
picked up on that.
and blow your
All right,
mind.
so we're thinking about being musical, right? So, same thing here. Let's think about being as musical as we can, okay?
All right.
Treat this like the performance.
My finger did this.
I like those. A little loud, but I like them.
I've been working.
Yeah, it's gotten better. We are way too big already.
I'm
We're-
trying to do it open.
Yeah, we're in. I did pick up on that, so some coordination issues aside, but we're in the first chorus. It's too much. It's too much. Take it easy. It's Taylor Swift.
Okay.
No, that won't do it. That won't do it. You gotta.
I'm
You gotta.
trying.
Nope. I got it. You open it up, then you do it. Okay. So we're trying to be musical, right? We're not trying to blow everybody away. The Zane show, whatever. Right? We're save it for the end. You can go. You know, when we get to the end, you can. I don't think I need to hear the beginning again. I think we're
Well,
alright.
like to the beginning. To the beginning.
Okay.
It's hard for me to jump in the middle of random song.
Well, you're gonna. Didn't sound too hard to me. that time it was more restrained. So the thing that was funny was when I said volume come down, your hands turned into this, but your bass drum the whole time was just. So you're slamming that thing, but your hands came down. So you half listened to me.
And my foot does not listen.
You
to
have
me.
a leg foot for sure. We'll have to fix that before you hit what, 16 and a half?
Yeah.
16 and a half.
15 and a half. 15 and a half,
Is it
yeah.
15 and a half? All right.
I ripped the car
we got some time. So
I'm already 25.
lead foot aside, the first two choruses were under control, which was nice. It was much better than the first time around. The first time was way too much. The second chorus actually kind of doubles in size, right? So you have kind of where the first chorus would have ended and it goes on longer, right? So that's probably the first spot that I would think to start embellishing and start doing some extra stuff. The fact that you saved your double bass fill for the end, good. That's what we want. We want to save that for the end. We don't want to pull that out too early, right?
Yeah.
Other than, really crushing, I think choices that you made were better this time around. I think we could afford to not crush so much. But I think the choices were a lot better. Okay.
That is something I will keep in mind.
Yes. So I'm trying to think if there was something more specific groove that you used, or the build was also nice, the way that you did the build. So you started the build earlier than I did when I played it for you, but you started it only on the floor tom and then later brought in the snare, which I thought was a nice touch. So
We worked on that because he crushes with his left hand still too.
Right foot and left hand. Bah!
Yep. So a build loses its value when it ceases to build. So if you start at ba 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 ba, it's like, dude, this is annoying. Stop. But when it starts really soft, there's value in that. You're continuing to bring it up and to you're still increasing the dynamic. If you hit your peak dynamic and then just hang out there, it's just obnoxious. Right?
I start out loud.
But that's what I'm saying is you didn't do it this time because again you started with the floor tom thing and you kind of kept it down. But it's very easy to do two things during a build. One is to get too loud too soon. The other one is to rush. Those are the two most common things that happen during a build. You get excited because the energy is building, and so you push forward and you end up rushing. Okay? So as long as you're aware of those two things, I think it'll be fine. I think making some choices in there so that the build feels a little bit different as it moves up, so adding the snare in later, I think it's a nice touch. I like it. Okay? But, well, yeah, your dad was a musician for a long time. He
wasn't
plays,
a drummer.
right?
He wasn't a drummer.
That's fine. That means he worked with drummers, right?
Drummers work with drummers.
A lot of my input when I was first getting started came from my dad, who is not really a drummer. He can play a little bit, but at this point you can play better than my dad can play on drums. But he's been a musician since before I was born, so he has a lot of input on what a guitar player wants from their drummer.
I can play better than him in some things and vice versa.
Okay.
I can do...
You practice drums a lot more than he does, so you'll eventually pass him up entirely. At least that's the hope.
He has.
Yeah.
He cannot do a skate kick. He goes...
On the heel toe.
And you know what? That's fine, because I could put a guitar in your hand right now and he'd have a lot to show you, huh?
I'd be like... Bang! 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 Okay.
Well, yeah, just don't hit the guitar with the drumstick.
Ah.
Okay. I think for the most part, do you have any questions or anything that you need to go over?
No.
No, you feel pretty good?
Still, what
So-
is this writing?
Same.
Wait till the lesson's over. So I don't think this one needs the most amount of work. I think this one cleans up a lot by bringing your volume down. I think when your volume comes down, the song will sound a lot better. I don't think we need to make other choices. So I think we actually should run Enchanted one more time, because that was the one with the most amount of decisions that I think could have been better. Because that's really what I'm here to help you with, is decisions. As far as dynamics and all that kind of stuff, you can practice that yourself, right?
What? You want your production?
Are these nice notes?
I'm trying to take care of what we have, yeah? All right. You ready?
Alright.
So, think musically what's good for the song, and not from the perspective of I'm bored and I want to hit things. Right?
I'm bored and I want to hit things.
No. Take that idea Throw it away.
Where's the trash can?
So it's over there. I already threw it away. It's not there anymore. All right. All right. What's left in its place? Nothing. So I'm gonna put something in that says play musical. Musically.
Things.
You're gonna be musical in the way that you play. You're gonna play stuff that sounds nice and isn't just busy.
And I'm gonna hit things.
No, we threw that away. All right. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go. See, much better already. Okay.
I try to be gentle with my foot.
Sure. And I could feel that. Is that that was not as big a crusher as the last one you just played. So this definitely needs the most work out of the 4 of them. Okay. First of all, I think we're still doing that swing thing, and it's not really landing. It's just not. Every time that comes up, it doesn't seem to fit very well. Hold on before you start backing up. So I think that's one thing that needs to change. I think the other thing is that as you start to get more comfortable with the ghosting on the snare, I think you'll probably lock into some stuff because it felt to me like we were grasping. So we're trying to really lock into something that you really like. We weren't able to really land anything consistent. And even then, in that, it was too much of the same over the course of the whole song. You jumped over to the right at one point, and then you came back to the hat, and it was sort of the same thing the whole time. It was this kind of ghosting, but I'm sort of fishing for what it is that I want to play. I think your fills also were somewhat uninspired. It felt like you didn't really know what to do with all of that space, so you would just have this da da ba 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 ba. You know, it almost felt like an exercise to me. Whereas I know that you have tastier fills in your pocket that you could pull out and you could use there. So I think what's happening is you're trying to reconcile. You've got a couple fills that you really like, and you're wanting to jam those in this song, but the song is too slow. And so the fills that you like to use aren't working here because it's too slow. So you're just either dragging them way down or not really knowing what to play. So you're playing something that's simple and safe. Okay? The more time that you spend with it, you're going to get comfortable with that amount of space, and your fills are going to be tastier. They're going to feel better. 2, I think if we ditch the swing, it's going to sound better altogether. 3, the more that you use your ghosting kind of a groove, the more that you can lock into a verse and a chorus groove rather than all of it blending together in some kind of cloud of uncertainty. Okay? So, spend the most amount of time with this one.
I will.
Good.
Check
I
my
have
ones.
Brendan coming in at 5:30, so I've got 13 minutes. I think it might be nice for you to hear. I played the other one last week, and it sounded way better.
Which one?
I played Love Story last week, if you remember, and it sounds way better this week. I think that it might be helpful if I were to do a run through of Enchanted. Do you think that would be helpful for you? Because I think right now we're grasping at stuff. I don't think we have any concrete ideas.
Alright.
Would that be helpful?
Yes.
Okay.
It will be helpful.
Okay. I always ask because it's not my